Good afternoon, children. In the last class, we discussed about finding the inverse, solving simultaneous equations, finding inverse and solving simultaneous equations. So in solving simultaneous equations, we have learned two methods. The first one is Cramer's rule and the second one is matrix method. Now the third method we are going to learn is row reduction. But in order to reduce a row, we should get familiar with the operations, row operations, elementary row operations. So we are going to learn about elementary row operations. Okay. Elementary row operations. So before that, let's learn one property. Write the property. Write down this property. Okay. Look at this, children. Listen to this property. All of you listen. Suppose we are given a 3 by 3 matrix. Let's, okay, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. Look at here. Okay, we learn some properties. We are going to learn some properties. The first property is interchange of two rows. The first property is interchange of two rows. Same thing we can do it for column also. Okay. Two rows or column, but here we are going to learn only one method, row reduction method. So I'm not specifying column. Whatever we are doing with rows is applicable for column. Okay, here as we want to learn only the row reduction method, we are going to learn only the row operations. So interchange of two rows. Here we have three rows, R1, R2, R3. Suppose I want to interchange. The second row should come in the place of third row, and third row should be interchanged with second row. So look at the notation I write here. R2, look at here, children. We put both the sides arrow. R2 moves to R3 and R3 moves to R. Okay, so there is no change happening in the first row. The second row and third row are interchanged. So we get 4, 1, 5. Minus 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? Is it okay? This is the first operation we are learning here. So this operation we denote it as Ri interchanged with Rj. Interchange of two rows. Interchange of two rows. When we interchange two rows, Ri gets interchanged with Rj. Again, second one is, okay, same way we can do it for column. We can interchange two columns. Okay. Next is multiplying a row. Multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar. A row by a non-zero scalar. We can multiply one row throughout a non-zero scalar. Multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar. For example, okay, suppose look at here, look at the same determinant, the same matrix here. Here, I'm having 4. Suppose I want to make here 4. So what we can do? We can multiply the first row as R1 into 4. So the row 1 is getting changed. How it gets changed? R1 into 4. First row becomes first row into 4. So when you multiply first row into 4, we will get 4, 8, 4. Second row, no change. Again, third row, no change. Is it clear? So how we can denote this? Ri gets Ri into some k, where k is a scalar. Multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar. We can multiply a row throughout by a non-zero scalar number. Is it okay? The first one is interchange of two rows or two columns. We can interchange two rows or two columns. Second one is multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar. We multiply the row by a non-zero scalar. Is it clear? Is it okay? So, okay, so this operations, we call it as elementary row operations. Okay, this one we call it as elementary row operations. Similarly, we have elementary column operations. We call this as elementary row operations. Now, the third one is, listen children, is it okay? First two, is it okay? First two, is it okay? Shubham, Aparna?
Yes, ma'am.
Aishwarya didn't join today. What happened? Aishwarya is not present. Femina? Okay. Now look at the next one. So, consider one matrix here. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 4. 1, 3, 5. Now listen children. This is our first row. This is our second row. This is our third row. Now, in this second row, instead of 3, I want there a 0. In second row, first element, I want to make it a 0. How we can do this? So what we can do here, first row we have 1. So where is the change happening? Change happens in the second row. How it gets changed? What I am going to do? I'm going to multiply the first row by 3. Multiply the first row by 3 and subtract it from the second row. R2 gets R2 minus 3R1. I don't want the change in the first row and third row. First row and third row, it should be as such. Change should be happening in the second row. How it should happen? We should make the entry as 0. I want 0 there. Then what we can do? Okay, like in elimination method, how we do? We multiply this equation. Instead of equation here, row is there. You multiply by 3 and subtract. So change is happening in R2. How it gets changed? R2 gets R2 minus 3R1. So when we do like this, what is the change? First row, no change. What about the second row? 3 minus 3. It will become 0. What about the next entry? 1 minus 2 into 3. Again for the next one, 4 minus 3 into 3. Second row, no, third row, no change. So we will get, this is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 0, minus 5, again minus 5, 1, 3, 5. Is it clear, children? Is it okay? What we do here, we want this entry to be made 0. Second row, first column to be made 0. For that, what we do here, we multiply the first row throughout 3 and we subtract it. When we subtract it, plus 3 and minus 3 will get cancelled. Is it okay? Is it clear? Anila Mohanan, Tomlin. Now, suppose I want this third row, first column 0. How will you make that a 0? What is the operation you will write? Third row, first column, I want 0. First row and second row should be as such. Then, what we can do? So, where is the change happening? Third row gets changed. How it gets changed? Here, I want 0. Then, what we can do? The R3 minus R1. Is it okay? When we subtract it, 1 minus 1, it will become 0. 1 minus 1, it will become 0. R3 gets R3 minus R1. R3 gets R3 minus R1. So here, first row, no change. Second row, no change. 1 minus 1, 0. 3 minus 2, 1. 5 minus 3 will get 2. Is it okay? Is it clear? Is it okay, children? Karthik, are you able to follow this?
Yes, ma'am.
So how we can mention this one? So how we can write this? Okay. How we can generalize it? Okay. So look at here. We can write like this. We can do Ri gets Ri plus some constant into Rj. Ri gets Ri plus some constant into Rj. That means we are adding the element of ith row. Adding the element of ith row with the k times the corresponding element of jth row. We add the corresponding elements. We add the corresponding elements of ith row and jth row. So we add the elements of ith row with k times the corresponding elements of jth row. Is it clear? We add the elements of ith row with k times the corresponding elements of jth row. And this is the notation. Ri gets k into Rj. Ri gets k into Rj. So near to that, you write down, children, adding to each element of ith row. Adding to each element of ith row. Adding to each element of ith row. K times adding to each element of ith row. K times the corresponding elements of jth row. Adding to each element of ith row, k times the corresponding elements of jth column. K times the jth column. And we denote like this. Ri gets Ri plus some k into Rj. Ri gets Ri plus some constant into Rj. Is it okay? Is it clear, children? Is it okay? The three operations, is it clear? Which are the three row operations we learn here? Ri gets interchanged with Rj. What about the second one? Ri gets, first one is interchanging. Second one is multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar. Third one is adding the elements. Okay, third one is we add the elements. Okay, add the corresponding elements of ith row with the multiplication. Okay, we multiply the corresponding elements of jth row by k and we add. Ri gets Ri plus some constant into Rj. Is it clear? Is it okay? Is it okay, children? So now let us do some problems based on this. Okay. So these are the three properties. Using these three properties, we can evaluate the determinants. Okay. Using these three properties, we can evaluate the determinants. Write the question. Write the question. Without expanding, evaluate the determinants. Evaluate 49, 1, 6, 39, 7, 4, 26, 2, 3. Yesterday I asked one question from here, isn't it? Finding the value of determinants. We have learned some properties. Okay. Last week we have learned some properties. If we interchange two rows, what happened? Go through the properties. First recall the properties. After that we can start doing this problem. Recall the properties. Which are the properties we have learned that day? First property is If each element in a row or column is 0, value of the determinant will be 0, isn't it? If one full row or full column becomes 0, value of the determinant is 0. Then if we interchange rows into columns, value of the determinant remains unchanged. Value of the determinant remains unchanged. And what is the next property? If two rows are identical, if two rows or two columns are identical, value of the determinant is 0. Okay. If two rows or two columns are identical, value of the determinant is 0. Then, if we interchange two rows or two columns, value of the determinant changes by its sign. Isn't it? One time if we interchange means one time you have to write the negative sign. If we interchange the rows or columns 2 times, you have to put 2 times negative, isn't it? So the interchanging of rows and columns will be accompanied by a negative sign. How many times we overcome? Okay. How many times the rows or columns is passed over? That much times you have to put the negative sign. Then one more property we have learned. If we multiply one row or one column throughout by a constant k, then the value of the determinant gets multiplied by k. If you multiply one row by k, value of the determinant also gets multiplied by k. Okay. Now using these properties, how will you find this? You can use that property, you can use the row operations and all. Now we learned this row operations. You can use that properties also. Tell me. Without expanding, we want to find. So either we can prove two rows are equal, isn't it? If we prove two rows are equal or two columns are equal, we will get the answer easily. Is it possible to prove two rows are equal or two columns are equal? Here we have 6, 4, 3. So is it possible to write, okay, is it possible to make some either of the row or column as multiples of 6, 4, 3 or multiples of 1, 7, 2? So look at here, what we can do here. Okay, here, what is the change I'm going to do is C1 gets C1 minus C3. Okay, like the row operations, we can use column operations also. C1 gets C1 minus C3. So what happens when you subtract C1 minus C3? Change is happening in the first column. 49 minus 6, you will get, what is 49 minus 6? Yes, children, what is the answer? When we subtract it, what you will get? Okay, we are going to find the value without expanding. 49, 1, 6, 39, 7, 4. Okay, when you multiply this, is it possible if you take something or if you add or subtract something, will you be able to get something, take a common? That is what you have to check. Suppose I subtract, C1 gets C1 minus C3. What you will get? 49 minus 6 means it is 43. Here you will get 35. Is there anything you can take as common? Don't write, Tomlin, first listen. Is it possible to take something as common here? No, isn't it? Instead of that, suppose I do like this. C1 gets C1 minus C2. Then, now, change is happening in the first row. C1 minus C2. What is 49 minus 1? 48. 39 minus 7? 32. It is 24. 1, 7, 2, 6, 4, 3. Now look at here. From the first column, can you take something as common? Which one you can take as common? First one, can we take 1, 8 as common? So we'll get 6, 8, 3. sorry, 6, 4, 3. 1, 7, 2, 6, 4, 3. Now look at here. Two row columns are identical. So what is the value of the determinant? Value of the determinant is 0. Value of the determinant is 0. Is it okay? Is it okay, children? Here, C1 is equal to C3. Two columns or two rows are identical means value will be 0. Okay, so this type of questions and all, we can't by heart it. You have to look at the numbers and from there only you have to find out. Okay. Look at this next question. Look at this next one. How will you do? Evaluate this. Suppose the question is like this. Determinant 102, 18, 36. 1, 3, 4. 17, 3, 6. How will you get? Either you can use row transformations, row operations. Okay, instead of row operations, sometimes they will use row transformations, column transformations, everything are equivalent. Now here find out what you can do. Yes, any idea? Yes, children. One 102, 18, 36 is here, all like this, something. Can you bring equivalence? So this is R1, R2, R3. See, suppose we get, what is R3 gets R3 into 6. What you will get? When you multiply third row by 6. First row, therefore no change. 102, 18, 36. Second row, no change. But when you multiply the third row by 6, what you will get? Get 102, 18, 36. So we get R1 is same as R3. Is or no? Two rows are identical. If two rows are identical, what will be the value of the determinant? It is 0. It is 0. Value of the determinant will become 0. Okay, you can use row operations or you can use column operations. Is it okay? Is it clear, children? Actually, this part is not there in your syllabus, but in finding inverse for simultaneous equation, they have introduced row reduction method. In your syllabus, for solving simultaneous equation, you have row reduction method. So if you go through these questions only, you will understand what is meant by row reduction method and all. Okay, how we are reducing the rows, which are the row operations. Look at the next one. Okay, look at the next one. Try this one. Evaluate 2, 7, 65. 3, 8, 75. 5, 9, 86. Evaluate. How will you do this? Okay, if you by some row or column operations, you have to prove both are equal. 2 rows are equal, 2 columns are equal. Then value of the determinant will become 0. How to prove it? What we can do here?
C3 is C3 minus C1.
C3 gets C3 minus C1. Okay. So first column, no change. Second column, no change. C3 minus C1. So we get 63. Very good. Now, from the third column, what we can do? We can take one 9 as common, isn't it? If we take one 9 as common, we get 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. So two columns are identical. Value will become 0. Value of the determinant will become 0. Okay. Is it okay, Tomlin? Aparna?
Yes, ma'am.
Shubham, is it okay? Aishwarya, what happened? You joined late today? Aishwarya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, write the next one. Evaluate 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Yes. What is the idea you can use here? If by using some row transformation or column transformation, prove that 2 rows or 2 columns are equal. Yes. How we can do?
C3 is C3 plus C1.
C3 gets C3 plus C1. Okay. So 1, 7, 13, 3, 9, 15. So third column, C3 gets C3 plus C1. So It will become 6, 18, 30. Okay. Now, from
Ma'am,
this,
I meant a row.
ah,
I meant R3.
you meant R3, but here you said C3, isn't it? So I wrote
Yes, ma'am.
C3. But anyhow, here, look at here, you will get same. As I know, if I take 1, 2 as common, 1, 7, 13, 3, 9, 15, 3, 9, 15. So will it become 0? Along the row also you can do the same, isn't it? What is the row operation? What is the row operation? Yes, yes, explain it. Karthik, what is your operation? You are, okay.
Ma'am, R3 is R1 plus R3.
R3 gets R1, R3 plus R1. Okay, like this you have tried. Okay, change is happening in R3 means that one should be written first. R3 gets R3 plus R1. So, first row no change, second row no change, third row will become 14, 18, 22. Okay, here also from the last row we can take 1, 2 as common. So we get 2 rows are identical, value will become 0. Okay, you have to do some row or column operations. Finally, we should get, if we get 2 rows or 2 columns identical, value will become 0. Okay. Is it okay? Yes, Shubham. Is it okay? So, okay, what are the 3 row operations we have learned, Aparna? Aparna, tell me the 3 row operations you have learned.
Ma'am, in the change of 2 rows, multiplying a row by a non-zero scalar,
Then third one. What about the third one? What is the third one? Yes, Karthik, give the third one. I think she's not able to complete that one.
Adding to each element of ith row k times the corresponding element of ith column. Ith row.
Okay. Now write the heading. Write the heading. Solving simultaneous equations. Solving simultaneous equations by using row reduction method. Solving simultaneous equations by row reduction method. Okay, this is the third method we learned, children. Okay, so straight away we do with the problem. Okay, straight away we are going to start with the problem. After that we can, okay, there is no theory part, only the problem is given. Okay, write the question. Solve x x minus 3y is equal to 9. 2x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so now listen, what we have to do. So we are given two equations in two variables. For the exam, if they are not specifying, means we have learned already two methods. That two methods easily you can apply. Either you can use Cramer rule or you can use the next rule. Which one? Yesterday we learned one method, matrix method, AX equal to B. You can use that to be. Now here, the next method, third method we are learning is row reduction method. So first of all, we should write the equations in the general form. Ax plus by, you take the constant term to other side. Variables on one side and take the constant terms to other side. So when you write this, you can write the given system of equation as, okay, we can write the given system of equations in this form. We can write this as x minus 3y is equal to 9. X plus y plus 3 is 0. We can write this as 2x plus y minus 3 is equal to minus 3. Equal to minus 3. So the two equations are x minus 3y is 9. 2x plus y is equal to minus 3. So the next step is we will be writing the augmented matrix, children. So the next step is we write the augmented matrix. Listen here. What is augmented matrix? Along with the coefficient matrix, you write, okay, along with the coefficients, we write the constant also. 1 minus 3, 9, 2, 1 minus 3. Is it okay? Is it clear? Is it okay? What is augmented matrix? What is augmented matrix? Along with the matrix, we write the coefficients also. But before that, you should write it in the general form. We keep all the constants to other side. Don't keep it with the variables. Okay, a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1. You take the constant term to other side. Then we write the augmented matrix. What is augmented matrix? Along with the coefficients, we join the constants and write. Up to this, is it okay? So now once we write the augmented matrix, our next aim is to make the elements below the diagonal. So suppose this is our diagonal. So we should, okay, it is not a square matrix. Suppose imagine this is a square matrix. Then what do you have to do? We should make all the elements below the diagonal as 0. Okay, first row, first element must be 1. A11 should be made 1. And all the elements below the diagonal should be made 0. All the elements below the diagonal. So here only one element only we have. Okay, these two things you have to check. First row, first column should be 1. And all the elements below the principal diagonal should be made 0 using row operations. So here I want to make it a 0. I want 0 in the second row. So the change is happening in the second row. So second row becomes R2 minus 2R1. R2 gets R2 minus 2R1. So first row, no change. Second row becomes second row minus 2 into first row. So 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 2 into 3. So 1 plus 6. It will become 7. Minus 3 into, okay, minus 3 minus 2 into 9. So what you will get? Is it clear, children? 2 minus, first one is 2 minus 2 into 1. So 2 minus 2, it is 0. Next one is 1 minus 2 into minus 3. So 1 plus 6, we will get 7. Minus 3 minus 2 into 9. So 18 minus 3 will get 21. So we apply the row operations on the augmented matrix. Is it okay? We apply the row transformation on the augmented matrix. Now you write the equation. Listen, children, look at here. You'll get the answer easily. Now you write it in the equation form. So with the first one, you write the variable x. Minus 3y is equal to 9. 0x plus 7y equal to 21. Once we make the elements below the diagonal 0, you write again the equation. From this changed matrix, you write the equation. So that is, we get this x minus 3y as 9. 7y is 21. Therefore, what is the value of y? Y is 3. Substitute here in the first equation. X minus 3y is equal to 9. So x minus 9 is 9. Therefore, x is 0. Therefore, what is the solution? Solution is x is 0 and y is 3. Therefore, the solution is x is 0, y is 3. And this method only we call it as row reduction method. We reduce the row. That is why we call this as row reduction method. Is it okay? Is it clear, children? So in the next class, we can do 1 or 2 more problems. And one more method is there, Leonid. With that, this chapter will get over. This determinants topic will get over. Okay. Is it okay? Try this question again. Okay, try this by using row transformation. We are using only row reduction. Similarly, column reduction is there, but in our syllabus, we have given with row reduction. Okay. I think time up. This I end the session now. Thank you.